pulpit. They they don't talk negative about evangelism, but the point is, are we actually making contact with the world? Are we actually, and I don't mean just inviting people to church, are we actually getting the substance of the gospel into people's ears?
So just come back from that fellowship conference in Manchester, which was a group of like-minded churches and pastors meeting together. And the interesting thing about it, the one thing that binds them together, apart from the more Calvinistic roots, I'd say, is the fact that none of those churches closed during lockdown, which is quite interesting. You know, a lot of churches, they shut up like Boris told them to during the coronavirus pandemic, but none of these pastors did. So there wasn't many of them, wasn't many churches, but that place was full, and it was really encouraging. But it was also very challenging as well, because we were called in that meeting to stand out even further and to get the gospel out louder. And it was a call to wake up, really, and recognise the dangerous times that we're living in, and how we really do need to speak up for God and challenge things that we see going on in our world that we just know morally are just not right. The sexual immorality that we see, the gender fluidity that we see, the baby killing that we see. You know, it's time that we spoke up about these things. And when we see legislation that tries to make things easier for people to make these crazy decisions that are hurting people in the short term and the long term, it's time as a church that we stand up and we speak up and we go out in boldness. You know, the kind of boldness that the early church had. That's what we need to be doing. You know, look at Jesus. Look at the disciples. Look how they didn't cower in the homes. They weren't afraid of death. They went out and they spoke up. And that's what we need to do as a church.